Not that funny. Let's take a look. And the president, as a candidate, and had a lot of things to say about this, that he wouldn't do this. Let's remind people of the things that he promised.
If someone wants to know why their own government has decided to go on a fishing expedition through every personal record or private document, through the library books that you read, the phone calls that you've made, the emails that you've sent, this legislation gives people no rights to appeal the need for such a search in a court of law.
When I'm president, one of the first things I'm going to do is call in my attorney general and say to him or her, I want you to review every executive order that's been issued by George Bush, whether it relates to warrantless wiretaps or detaining people or reading emails or whatever it is. I want you to go through every single one of them, and if they are unconstitutional, if they're encroaching on civil liberties unnecessarily, we are going to overturn them.
I will provide our intelligence and law enforcement agencies with the tools they need to track and take out the terrorists without undermining our Constitution and our freedom. We need to find a way forward to make sure that we can stop terrorists while protecting privacy and liberty of innocent Americans. As for our common defense, we reject as false the choice between our safety and our ideals.
Senator, did he fulfill those promises?
Well, see, this is why the American public has such a low regard for politicians. It's utter, frank hypocrisy. This is also the same president who made all those grand promises, who signed legislation that says that an American citizen can be arrested without charge, indefinitely detained, and sent to Guantanamo Bay. But he says, oh, I won't ever do it. I don't intend to do it. But he signed law giving himself that power. So he says a lot of good things, and he sounds good, but he doesn't really seem to mean anything that he says. And that kind of hypocrisy is why Americans are so fed up with Washington.
Senator, the Director of National Intelligence back in March, James Clapper, told the Senate Intelligence Committee that the NSA did not collect data of millions of Americans. I want to air this and see if you think this is true.
Does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans?
No, sir.
It does not.
Not wittingly. There are cases where they could inadvertently, perhaps, collect, but not wittingly.
Senator, did he tell the truth there?
You know what? He may be parsing the truth, because maybe they say, oh, we're not collecting it or keeping it, but they're certainly looking at it, because the court order that we've seen, what has been leaked, says that all of the records for a 3-month period from people who have phones with Verizon was looked at. So maybe he says, oh, we're not collecting it, but we're sure the heck looking at it. That sounds to me like we're parsing the truth. But I think ultimately American people have to decide, and I've started a lawsuit. We're asking tens of millions of Americans to join our lawsuit. You can go to randpac.com, join this lawsuit. We want you on our lawsuit, Sean, because they're probably looking at your phone records for certain. We want tens of millions of Americans to sign up and say to the president, we want them to say to the president, we don't want you looking at our phone records unless we're accused of a crime.
Senator, I had a thought today, and I want to run it by you. I was thinking, if this was, they keep saying this was done in the name of national security, and this is so general and broad sweeping and inefficient, as we stated, if they really cared about security, wouldn't they secure the border first before they would spy on all these Americans?
There's all kinds of things. Even look back to 9/11, the 20th hijacker, we had him. The FBI had him for a month, and they wrote 70 letters asking for a warrant, and it never came. We're not doing good police work, but we're overly broadly looking at everyone's records. It's the wrong way to go.
All right, Senator, keep up the good work. Thanks for being with us.